Few days passed as Dr. Mueller said he needed to acquire items for the surgery. But still aches given what the scalpel was made of. Maybe I should have seen that coming. The first time I went to him, given how strong my skin is to begin with. The others were preoccupied by others, I mean Acrio and Valerie. Not quite sure what's going on with Valerie, but something about a dead cow, blood. None of my business, really. But Cillian and Lorelei were there. Ugh. Everything feels so rather hazy. I feel a pull as soon as we likely get back on the road again. I can always just tell when there's a full moon. Should be fine. Other than this old woman, I guess, is going to lead us through the Croon's Pass. There's nothing I can really do about that at this moment. I don't even want to think about that weird dream I had with my house and some kind of moth. I don't know if it's just because tensions are high lately, or if it's just me being nervous from the surgery itself. I showed Cillian some drawings I made of both him and Lorelei. I want to keep my head straight as much as possible, given what the eye did. Maybe I'll tell him what some of the words are later, but I don't know. Now there's vampires in Silburn. There's nothing we can do about that. We're just going to have to stay safe and get out as soon as possible. I only hope that Lorelei and Cillian don't do anything stupid. Still debating why I even listened to them to begin with, but I can't really do much about it.
Ever since that first bite, the solution would be so easy. All my problems for the price of a slightly different life. I can live with that. She stopped me at the tower, and now they're here. We need to know. We need to know more, and I need to know more. So I needed to follow them. Amrita showed me those drawings, and suddenly I knew that, or realized that I'm not long for this world anymore, and I really fucking need to be. We die all the time. The death of that kid showed me that again, and it's just around the corner, and so I needed to go there, and Lorelei wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. So I tried something, and it did not work. And suddenly I saw her for what she was again. Hopefully what I think she might be. I think I fucked up. I'm not good at mending bridges. And this one has fallen into the water and drifted away. Face forward, I guess.
Acrio, you wake up groggily from a dream that felt important, as they sometimes do, but at the same time it's so cloudy and backward, the details escape you immediately. It's just this pounding, throbbing headache, and then you realize there's another banging sound, a bell. It's not the church bell from the morning, it's the bell from the tower. It's dark in your room on the upper floor of the Brass Bell Saloon. You can't see anything. There doesn't appear to be anyone else in the room with you. Cillian's not present for some reason.
Does Acrio know what that bell means? If it's not the church bell, he's guessing it's...
Yeah, I mean, you could make a quick insight check.
Yeah.
Just as you're waking up.
Yeah. Like, half awake, just scrambling for the hammer in his armor, regardless.
Yeah, you would have disadvantage from the exhaustion. You haven't quite finished the long rest yet, but even still, it's instinctual. You know that there's something going wrong. It is most certainly an alarm.
Yeah. Yeah, he rolls out of bed and immediately starts throwing on his plates and tying straps. Whether the straps are on right or not is fine.
There's a flash of light in the window.
Yeah, like as he's trying to pull a boot on, he like stumbles over to the window and opens the curtain.
There's another flash. It looks like somewhere off in the mountains, there's a storm brewing. So far away, the thunder doesn't even reach you, just that burst of light. You look down onto the streets. Either it's so late that the torches have gone out, or else they have been put out because the streets are near black. You see vague shapes of movement of some kind, but without any light, you're incapable of seeing until there's another flash, just the briefest glimpse in this bit of light from distance. You see a figure on horseback, long coat and slouch-style hat, and there seem to be people following him down the main road.
Okay. I'm going to finish getting ready, and I'm just going to, like, kick the door open and try and look for everyone else.
As you open the door, everything is initially quiet in the brass bell. There's no candles lit anywhere else out here either. But I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
This would, not be an advantage for saving throws, disadvantage, but you're suddenly hit with sound and movement, like a flock of birds, but you realize quickly it's bats. Just fly past the upper room, hit the window, break the glass out of your window, and fly outside the tavern.
Friends' doors, knock, anything?
Nope.
Okay.
You do find, after a moment of commotion, trying to call for the others, or at least see if anyone's there, there are two of the upstairs workers that are like almost cowering in a corner, just trying to be quiet. They look up at you.
Yeah, just,
almost expectantly as a Cathar.
Yeah, take a knee. Where are they?
They don't know. You can see that the front door of the saloon is partially ajar.
I'm gonna usher them into my room, close the door behind me, and then downstairs. Shh, do I have light? Yeah, just like muttering to himself as he walks downstairs with his hammer in hand, trying to find what's going on, approaching the front door.
You have to move around some of the chairs that have been set up on the tables for the night without running into anything in the darkness. About halfway across the saloon floor, when the doors suddenly open up rather quickly, and it looks like a very tall, imposing figure, probably Amrita, is making her way inside with another smaller humanoid shape.
Would we have gotten any people along the way, by the by, if they were trying to follow the other group of people? How
diligently would you be trying? Roll an investigation check, Amrita.
Okay.
What you can see is the main street is fairly dead in terms of populace, aside from the few business owners that live above their storefronts and that sort of thing, like Dr. Mueller with his doctor's practice and the general store. most of the citizenry lives further out in the town. The only people you've come across are either Cathars, who are all standing at attention with these wooden stakes, like just held this way as in like a guarding position, or those that you can see are in this stupor and just stumbling down the main street following after this figure on horseback. So you can either try to get into the middle of that group of people who are obviously under some enchantment, but nobody else seems to be on the street. It's up to you if you want to risk dealing with that.
I don't think she would. She's too out of it. Just having surgery, there's no freaking way.
If there's like any very young people, like maybe a teenager or a child that's being dragged along, Sage might try and like grab their hand and nudge them towards the tavern.
As per last time when Cillian had checked, there didn't appear to be any youths in this group. It seems that it's not, wouldn't say older people, but like hardy, middle-aged, like virile types with lots of blood flow.
She'll avoid getting mixed into that then.
Sage is also a little bit groggy still from you went black for a moment looking into this vampire's eyes before you were shaken out of it and then pulled along. So yeah, it's a bit hard to focus still as everything's becoming clearer, but still the middle of the night.
Old woman, get inside the establishment.
You know my name's Sage, right?
Whatever.
She says that like a teasing tone, not like bonk on the head, don't call me that. And she just gets inside the tavern.
Yeah, just run up to Amrita, ask her what's happening outside.
Vampires. They harvest. Something like that. People in stupor.
How many vampires?
Couldn't tell. I saw at most 3. They're all following one main one, but there's nothing we cannot interfere with it. I think they're Markovs.
Where's Lorelei? Where's Cillian?
I don't know where they are.
Those
They said they'd be brief. They shouldn't. I just had surgery and they.
Then you can hide. I'm gonna go find them.
Young man, try not to get involved. It ain't safe out there. There's too many of them. I see you within your Cathar garb, but just can't do anything in these situations.
It's not safe anywhere in this world. If it's not even safe in towns, then there's no point in even fighting. Kicks open the door, walks outside, going to find Lorelei.
The moment you do, there's another flash of lightning up in the mountains. This time you think you might have heard the rumble of thunder, but maybe it was just the door hitting the frame and then swinging back. You're maybe 40 feet away from this procession of what you have been told is a vampire on horseback, followed by the herd, we'll say. And now that you're out, you can see or recognize a bit of movement, just vague silhouettes. Maybe it was that flock of bats. Maybe it's human-like shapes, but they're moving across the rooftops.
Yeah, so I am going to cast that on myself.
Choosing monstrosities, I assume, the vampiric type.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go look for Lorelei, keeping as much as a glowing plated man can, keep to the sides, and just... do I have any idea where Lorelei had been or Cillian had been at any point of today?
I mean, you knew the surgery was this afternoon. They had been with Amrita.
Then I'll go to Dr. Mueller's first.
Okay. That is going to be on the main street. Are you trying to make your way with this group of people that are following the vampires full view, or, like you said, circle back behind a few things and come up to the rear of his storefront, doctor's office? You would encounter several Cathars, most of whom are guarding the alleyways and the streets that lead to where more people live.
Okay.
and they wouldn't really speak, but just give you grim nods. And seeing as you're not holding any wooden stakes, they would offer one to you.
Yeah, I'll take one, tuck it into my belt, and just as I'm going, I'm casting courage on them. It doesn't do anything, but
I mean, it very well could.
Yeah, I'll try and... How long does it take to loop around and get behind?
It won't
Dr.
take very
Mueller's?
long. You're on the main strip, which is the same place the doctor's office is located, so you know,
Okay.
a couple minutes at max, even trying to be stealthy about it.
Yeah, I'll do my best to not head first into the main group.
Lorelei, you've seen this outburst, seemingly from Cillian. How is she reacting to that?
It is a very still, cold chill, like that outburst had kicked any sort of fire out of her in that moment, and she's just very, almost like wilting, almost. And like her eyes are a little
Meanwhile, Cillian had attempted to make his way off, witnessed one of the people moving through the street be pounced upon and drained, devoured in the middle of the road, which sent him into this panic, stumbling back, seemingly losing consciousness as he falls in this alley. There's a distant, faraway flash of lightning, and the last thing you see, Cillian, is the shadow of Lorelei projected in multiple places and multiple building fronts, almost as if the light were coming from underneath her because the shadows are too big, and that's where everything goes black.
Fear is not a gigantically common expression on Cillian's face, so it is strange to see him lying there with it imprinted on.
She hesitates for a minute, looking at him on the floor, and her eyes dart around, and very unceremoniously, like someone would pick up a rug. She picks him up and holds him under her arm and just starts to head back.
As you're doing that, this vampire takes notice of you, looking your direction, standing up and just... What do we have here? Another little morsel?
Nothing you need to worry about.
He's gonna start moving in your direction.
Making my way downtown, walking faster.
Dragging a human being. Acrio, I need you to roll a d100, please.
Sure.
You start to hear these voices. They're not far away. They're not being loud either, but at the same time, it's like the town has this uneasy stillness over it. Despite what's going on, there aren't shouts in the street or whimpers or cries. It's just a quiet rounding up of people. So you start to hear people talking and it draws your attention.
Beeline.
You find very quickly young-ish woman lying in the middle of the street. Her throat is torn open. There isn't a massive amount of blood on her. It's all very centrally located, as if the wounds hadn't been allowed to bleed everywhere.
Do I see past that?
You can get up close to it. It's still
Yeah.
dark. Do you have any light source at all?
Do I just pull out my blade of wrath?
It's up to you.
Dead person means bad things nearby, and it looks like she just died.
It's very fresh.
Okay. Blade of Wrath is concentration. So no, I don't think I have any light, so I'll just approach the body and set a hand on it.
As you approach, then, you find yourself at a T intersection where you're on the main road, but then there's an alley that goes down another way, and you look at the body. She is far gone. Quickly, it looks like, though, and there is a visage of fear just like paralyzed on her face. But you would be able to catch movement then down this alley, and you can't tell who it is or anything, but it looks like there's another thin, tallish figure in a long coat.
In line with lightning, I have a spell called Dazzle, so I'm just going to like a flashbang in the alleyway, so it looks like a lightning strike, just to get like an idea of what's happening, what's down there.
The first thing you notice is the figure that's moving down this alley is leaving a trail of blood behind it. And looking from the angle, there's somebody dragging another person.
I think it's time for you to go. Approaching the figure.
Make a persuasion check.
Ouch.
Doesn't even respond, as if you're not there.
Okay. I'll cast Blade of Wrath. No.
Does that have an actual glow to it?
It does. So basically the hammer goes up, or no, actually goes into the ground, comes up, and then just daylight or light from the ground spills out. So I have light in a 20-foot radius and dim for another 20.
Okay. Hell yeah. With this clearly angelic glow, you can see this long-haired, pale-skinned figure in this. You would find it to be, mostly similar garb to what people would wear in this area, but definitely you would describe it as fancier, a little more well-tailored, a little frillier on the collar and the sleeves.
That's got like little swirls.
Fringe on it.
Yeah.
And the figure does then turn away from you, Lorelei, as you hear someone speaking, voice you recognize, and this light coming from behind the vampire.
Immediately stops in her tracks. Acrio!
Is Cillian okay?
He just fainted. He's fine, I think.
Okay.
He just had a fright.
Are you ready for this?
Are you?
I have to be.
Then I have to be too.
You have one more chance
Both
to leave.
Sound awfully sure. This is interesting. You want to get involved with Markov business?
Doesn't matter. The only way you're leaving alive is if you leave unscathed now.
So you see this figure, which you would have mistaken for a human in any other circumstance, very well dressed, blood-soaked human at this point. But you see the eyes start to glow and flicker yellow, and under normal circumstances, you might find it like that headache you woke up with is starting to throb a little bit more. But because you have protection from evil cast upon you, you are immune to being charmed, so you are not going to suffer any effects from this. And that smirk on its face slowly starts to fade as you don't back down at all.
Yeah, just one step after the other, sword in hand pointed at them.
I will give you a choice with different outcomes depending on which one you prefer. You can either attempt an intimidation check, which will have disadvantage because you are exhausted, or you can attempt to make an attack roll.
Intimidation gets a d4, and then I can slap another d6 on it. In this moment, can I use guidance to help me?
What would the prayer he would say in this moment be?
Light may guide me on this blackened night.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do intimidation. So
It's supposed to be 12.
1d4 for Stensian, Buck, 1d6. I'll use my hero point, 5, and 1d4 guidance.
19.
That's going to be enough. As you can see that this vampire doesn't want to react. It lurches forward to try and attempt to make you flinch, but you don't. You stand with this massive semi-incorporeal blade of wrath just shining light in this space, and it sneers, baring its fangs before latching onto the wood and the stone of the side of this building and just scrambling up onto the rooftop. You look up and you think there's maybe a moment where it's going to attempt to pounce. Again, its eyes flicker, and you feel that presence in your head yet again, but the magic you have channeled from the angels blocks it out entirely, and it will flamboyantly fling its cloak as it disappears over the eave.
The old tuxedo mask. I love it.
Yeah, just immediately drop the Blade of Wrath. I can summon it back later if need be. Just sprint towards Lorelei.
Run over.
Cillian, you're going to start to come back to consciousness from everything that had bombarded you. You hear Reigen and several other voices that you recognize, your father's, several aunts, all like screaming, trying to get you up.
I'm up. Just 5 more minutes. Fuck. Instinctually scramble a bit away from Lorelei and stand up.
As soon as she feels him move, she just drops him.
What happened? Are we okay?
We're fine.
Cillian, you just gotta get up. We gotta go now.
Okay. I'll follow you guys.
Lorelei, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. Alright, everyone's ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And then back the way I came, grab the body on the road, throw it over my shoulder, and just start running for the tavern again.
Any Cathars you pass will encourage you to move along. Like, get them inside. Don't let them look in their eyes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Good luck. Straight to the tavern.
Can I have you make one more D100 roll?
Sure. 4.
That is exceptional. Yeah, you're able to get back there quickly. It's loud and clunky. Cillian's the only one who's not making much noise, but even still, by the time you reach the saloon, it appears as though this main rancher and the parade of people behind him have almost reached the northern gate down the main street, and this culling of the herd is nearly over.
Yeah, like go inside, roll the body off, immediately grab a table and throw it against the door, just in case there's any straggling vampires that want a last-minute treat.
What is Sage's reaction to having a corpse thrown directly in front of her?
Oh, that's highly unorthodox. Young man, may I ask why you're flinging bodies around?
Just not even paying attention, just like automatic mode, just grabbing boards and throwing them against windows. And then finally, once the first floor is covered, he stops, and like this whole time his heart's been beating enough to sound like a drum, and he just finally like slumps into a chair.
Yeah, Amrita comes down running from the stairs for a second, but it's like staggering a bit. Why do I smell so much blood?
This poor girl here. Sage will like lay her out a little more serenely. Ceremoniously.
English
sucks. I agree.
On the ground, trying to see if she might know this poor girl, might know whose family she belongs to.
Make a history check. If not proficient, then it would just be intelligence.
Yeah, just intelligence.
You think you recognize the face, but you can't place a name. Maybe you saw her 10 years ago, and she was a teenager then, so it's like, maybe, but maybe not.
You found them.
Yeah. Vampire was about to get to him.
Things got in the way.
Lorelei doesn't say a word and just moves to the body and starts ritually casting gentle repose on it. Just like cleaning her up and, giving her some dignity. She doesn't say a word.
We're none the wiser.
Blocked some of the windows upstairs as much as I can do.
They got what they came for. Sure, we'll be fine.
As soon as they're gone, I gotta go visit my boy.
Sorry that I couldn't do more.
You did enough.
Oh, sweetie, you can't do anything. It's been like this for centuries.
Exactly why someone should do something. Not me, apparently.
And maybe one day. Probably won't live to see it, but it'll be a nice day. I hope my children will.
You seemed hardy. Sure, I'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure, but Cullens, they take their toll. Eat nice. Friends disappear. Strange that it's so early in the year.
Rita's gonna look outside and listen. Does it sound like or look like that wolf was also still in town or nearby?
You won't catch any sight of that massive black wolf. There is, however, procession of Cathars seemingly going around to different houses, spreading out through town, just taking a tally of the losses, making sure there's no straggling vampires either.
Sage will probably be the one to talk to them, as she does, endlessly.
Alright, looks like I gotta go back to work. And he'll get up, grab his hammer, and join the rest of the Cathars.
As Acrio goes, Lorelei just reaches over and catches his arm, and he'll feel a hum from one of the angelic seals as I get the angelic seal of temperance, and I activate that on you.
And he'll set a hand on hers and smile before taking off.
I'll be making my way off if it's over out there. Be back in the morning. Just you make sure them kids are alright.
You do that.
You stay safe and have a good rest. Watch out for that wolf if they haven't gotten it yet.
Casper Lowe will catch up with Acrio, help him understand what needs to be done in the wake of all of this, and you can report the body that you did bring to the saloon.
Yeah.
This was a particularly bad one. Haven't had anything like this in a while.
Yeah, something's telling me I gotta have a word with, what's the ranch guy's name? Out of character, people?
Cooper.
Cooper Hillcrest.
Cooper.
Yeah.
I'll be making my way over there in the morning.
Suppose, of course, there's the rumors. Without Avacyn, we should have expected something like this sooner or later.
We're all doing our best.
Times like these, the angels feel the farthest away.
If we put all our hope into the angels, one day, many days, traveling the road in our homes, just out of the sight of the angels, we gotta believe in ourselves too. We're not powerless.
Are you a student of history, Forge Master?
What they forced me to read, I read.
You have that symbol on your armor, that eagle, Stenzia. That thing was almost extinguished. Before the coming of Avacyn, the vampires, they spread out over this entire land. We were not towns. We were ranches. We were almost extinguished, not just here. It was spreading everywhere. Almost to the holy city. This land was almost theirs. Avacyn and the angels are the only reason we survive. I do not doubt what we can do, but we cannot do it alone. And you see him staring at this silver sphere that he possesses as the parish blade that has the symbol of Avacyn worked into where the staff and the spearhead itself connect. I just wish I knew where she was. And I know I'm not alone in this, we all do, but why? Why now?
She'll return to us one day.
Pray that day is not too late.
You can only pray and hope. Alright, we have bodies to count.
Can I have you roll a d20 real quick?
7.
Nope. No,
Damn, nat 20 and Avacyn here.
Just like
Avacyn just
swoops
walks
in.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, what's up, guys?
Hey,
She's like,
bye.
she's like, I went on a Starbucks run. What happened?
What happened?
Just at the planes walk to the real Earth.
Yeah.
Starbucks and friggin'. For Acrio's diligence, he will gain 1 point on his angelic path of devotion.
Hell yeah.
I did a thing.
Yeah.
I think I get a new ability now.
Nice, boy.
Yeah, try not to fuck it up.
Hey, eat shit.
I'm leading him astray, guys.
All the homies losing their path when I can't finish that sentence.
Why not, coward?
What is
Shut the
everyone else
fuck
up
up,
to
old lady.
the rest of the night?
I think Amrita will probably go back to that room she was in, but just make sure with the other two, neither of you got attacked at all right. It was only senses are a bit off. The blood from the corpse.
Ignoring Amrita, I say to Lorelei, you need to say it. Before you go to sleep, you need to say something to me. And I'm not sure what it is.
Looks at him blankly, in complete silence.
Fine. Don't let it eat you.
It already has. And she just
Enjoy
walks
the
away.
stomach, then. That happened. Sometimes I can't really keep things straight. And I hurt. I would cross out those drawings if I were you.
Is it apparent that these two are having some issue, or do I have to inside it, or is it high enough to where she knows them by now a little
I
bit?
think it's in the air.
I
If you
think
don't
it
feel
is.
it,
Yeah.
You could
I just
cut the
want them to
tension
be
with
like,
a
oh.
spoon. It's so
Yeah.
thick.
Passive insight is plenty.
I don't really know what is wrong with the two of you right now, but don't have time for any of this. But if you're frazzled from the night,
Got it. Shut up. See you tomorrow. And I'll leave. Want to do one thing.
Are you leaving the saloon or leaving the just Amrita's presence?
No. Amrita's presence. Just to lock myself up in mine and Acrio's room.
You will find there are a pair of whores in your room, huddling away from the window that is shattered out. Do with that as you will. What'd you roll
When in Rome.
Which card did he pull?
I'm still checking.
Sure. It was an
Just
18.
this is about his relationship with Lorelei. That's what he wanted to know more about.
Oh god. Let's fucking
Wait,
go.
was this number 18? Someone
Yeah.
just recently pulled the Two of Stars, the
Yeah.
pursuit of knowledge, tempered with wisdom. That
When
was for the surgery also, I believe. Because it was in
I
relation
think this
to
one
Dr.
was
Mueller.
the.
I'm
Oh
sure you
right,
have
and the
that.
other one was Faith for Acrio. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was. So I pulled the same card I pulled this day, and I walk into the room and I pull it away, and they appear in my vision. And
They instantly, react
Evening,
within, realize you're not a...
ladies, I am the threats
The
are
captain
over.
said to stay here.
It's wise of him.
Is it over?
I would go check if you lost someone.
We'll head out.
When am I ever not happy to see whores in my room? I hate this life.
There's still
With
a
the card
distant,
away in my deck.
almost like dry mountain storm going on. Too far away for you to even really catch the thunder, or it's not going to rain here, but the mountains are ablaze with lightning. There's a draft coming through your window. The glass is shattered for some reason.
Touch my finger to it.
It appears as though
Don't.
there's not much glass on the inside of the room. You can look around and realize that it was shattered from the inside out, not as if someone had broken into it.
Oh, well, we're all a mystery. Why would Acrio do this? Feeling very tired and very stricken by the vaporwave. So, I will sleep.
I'm gonna go snug me.
yeah, I guess I'm really
Eventually-
just gonna sigh. Sorry, no, I was just gonna tell Lorelei I'm gonna take Val's room then and just have my own room by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Val doesn't appear again. You surmise that he was probably going to be staying in either the doctor's, where he had with the doctor, or somewhere else, because he never returns.
Yeah, so she'll just lock the door and then just go in there and not even bother to ask anyone else to, whatever.
You will all be able to complete a long rest. I believe due to Valerie's healing, nobody is really injured. You would get your level plus constitution back, and if you're missing any hit die, it would be half your level worth you would regain.
I'm sad. What am I supposed to do with this fucking 4 levels of supply?
Acrio's level of exhaustion will dissipate as well when he eventually crashes hard. And even still, well, here, I'm going to have Cillian and Acrio both roll just to see which is more exhausted and who wakes up earlier.
Oh my god.
Not gonna give me
just the
rolls.
D20?
Let's go.
Sure.
Who sleeps harder?
Apparently Cillian sleeps harder.
Acrio is not sleeping. Inspiration!
Reroll the sleep.
But yeah, then Acrio, you wake up, and again, last night you hadn't realized it. Maybe it was the shock and adrenaline your heart pounding immediately as you heard the alarm. Didn't even register it until later, but now when you wake up, the first thing you do when you move your arm is you feel this pain shooting up through your elbow into your shoulder.
Oh, great. Poggeronis.
We forgot to deal
just
with
like
them.
start to move it, and all right, I'm gonna stay in bed today. Nah, fuck that. Gets up, eh? No armor this time, just down to get breakfast.
There's only one bed in these rooms. Who took what for the sleeping arrangements in Acrio and Cillian situation?
Now we're
Or did they
bros.
just
We
sleep on
share.
opposite sides, just like
Yeah,
try not
back
to
Top and
touch?
tail. eh?
back to
Pillow
back.
wall in the middle.
Yeah, no. We actually alternate spooning.
Got to keep warm on those hot harvest
Yeah,
moon nights.
Yeah.
Cillian only minds the situation where he's not in the bed, so any other might exist.
All other realities are fine as long as
One of
Cillian
Acrio
in
also
bed.
with him, or on the floor.
Yeah. They do the foot thing like one night where like you're like opposite and like
yeah,
the
top and
feet-
tail. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, nah, fuck that. Our boots are fucking vile.
Yeah, we both have Legionnaires
Sleep in your
disease.
boots.
Both got trench foot.
Yeah. Then, Acro, you would probably notice Cillian is still hard asleep, but you can see where on part of his face that vitiligo had moved its way up to his hairline, and you're starting to realize he had dyed part of his hair. You're not sure if that was like that when you first met him or not, because you don't have any prior memories. However, it does appear as though there's a patch of hair along that line that is just completely white and has no dye in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's the roots, and then there's another shock of just white that hadn't been there the day before.
The sleeping in the same bed, just as a couple of homies, probably happened before Acrio lost his memory. Now he just leans up like against a chair or a desk in the room and just like crosses his arms and sleeps on like that. And when he gets up, he takes note of it, but that's it. Like, huh, that's weird. Weird roommates. What are you gonna do?
Innistrad, that's what you got to deal with.
Yeah, normal roommates are actually more concerning, just because those
Yeah,
don't
'cause it's
actually
like, what's
exist.
wrong with you?
Yeah, what? You're not weird? Who are you?
Why are you on the road? You should just have a farm somewhere.
Just buy a house.
You're just a normal dude.
But yeah, you can go downstairs. Everything is
Yeah.
strangely back in the swing of things. It's like nothing odd had happened. There's, sounds of coffee being poured, pots and pans cleaning around, plates being laid out with eggs.
Actually, I will check in on Laura. Just peek in, make sure she's not like hovering above her bed and like
not like the exorcism on the ceiling.
yeah.
Would Lorelei have locked her room, or
She probably would have, but if she would probably be easy to awake. She's a light sleeper, so if he knocks, she'll unlock it and
Yeah, just a light knock.
just peers around the door. Morning.
Morning. Everything all right in there?
Yep, everything's fine.
Just checking in. Breakfast, if you want some.
I need it really bad.
All right, I'll meet you down there then.
And get ready for brekkie.
Awkwardly T-pose away. like the fucking
Gary's
anim-
mod away.
Yeah, just Gary's mod, like straight in one line and then down through the floor.
Just no clip.
He
his
enabled fee
breakfast.
clip.
Yeah, order breakfast for 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people? 5 people? 4? 4 people.
4, yeah,
I
because
will
that
also
was
say
wherever.
you guys have had 3 rooms for an additional 3 nights, so I believe I've
Shit.
done the math. That was 18 gold that you owe currently.
Alright.
I'm sure Amrita will pick it up.
Amrita is
30.
actually, so she's awake, but she's sitting there meditating in the morning, but she's going over all of her stuff because she has no idea what she does or doesn't have, given all the money that she had given to Cillian to maybe go shopping at some point. Whether or not it actually happened, she has no idea, but she's just sitting there out of it, just in a daze, looking over everything and thinking about the letters that she wrote, just sitting in there. Shit. And she'll probably just stay. I'm sorry, she'll probably just stay in there probably till, I don't know, the others are ready to go.
Go leave town or go out to Cooper's?
I don't think she wants to go to Cooper's. Really?
Sure.
Oh, no, we're gonna have to if we're leaving because it's on the way out, right? We're going
the
to
other way.
Cooper's.
Yeah, the opposite
Let's go
direction.
the other
bit
way?
back. Yeah.
Okay, if it's no, I think she'll just stay there, or if like she doesn't have anything, try to get something. But again, she has no idea, or really hasn't had a chance to ask in terms of like new whatever and all that stuff because she has no idea.
I eventually wake up before going downstairs. I'm not going to Amrita's door. Yo, you need anything before we head out?
She'll get up and go and open the door. I don't know. Did you go shopping at all in the last couple days?
Not yet. I'm spending it with the kids.
I just need a new cloak, maybe cooking utensils. Would be a good idea to travel along. Are you okay?
Feel kind of like an asshole. But yeah.
And we would also definitely recognize this extra new shock of white in his hair.
Yeah, it's like she almost wants to reach out and like sort of move it around, but she doesn't.
All right, I'll go get
Really?
those.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know who's going to go to Cooper or not. I would prefer not to. I'll probably just go to the stables. I can meet you there.
Sure. Just try to head out as early as possible. I'll go get your cloak and your spoons.
Are you wanting to purchase another level of supply on top of what you've got? Or just a few extra items? Or either, whoever's doing the actual shopping.
Yeah, I probably, if someone else needs, if people are at like 1, then definitely.
I think I'm fine. I'm at 3 out of 5, so she'll probably
Yeah,
be
it
fine.
would require 40 gold to get to the next level for Amrita if you would so choose to do that.
And what's from 2 to 3?
From 2 to 3 would
And
be,
gold. 1 second.
it would be 20 gold. If you're at 2 and you want to get to the
20.
3rd level.
Then I'll buy a level for myself and the cloak and like the extra stuff for Amrita. So I go to Sage's son and see if he's still alive.
He is, in fact. It'll be 1 GP for the cook's utensils. And I'm probably going to say it's going to be 2.5 gold for a decent, decent riding cloak that you think you have a good eye, kind of matches her aesthetic.
If I have enough time, I want to let's say, what color is the cloak? Like
What color do
burgundy?
you
Can
think
I
it would
get
be?
that?
She's got like the burgundy maroon colored
Tunic now.
tunic that she's wearing with her armor.
Yeah.
So you might not want it to clash too hard. Maybe something a little more neutral. But that's up to Cillian if he's the one purchasing it.
Yeah. I'll buy something so she can blend better. Usefulness over aesthetics for Amrita. It's this like brown, fairly standard with 1 arm-free cloak, and I wanted to create like a little red blood drop beneath the hood of it.
Like in the liner of the hood.
No, on like the back of the cloak, so it's hidden if the hood is removed, but it will reveal itself if it's.
Gotcha. Very Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
No,
That is definitely doable. Are you leaving your tool proficiency for this long rest still set with certain geist that you had, or are you going to change that up?
Ooh, I don't remember what I have it set to. Probably Arcana, right?
I think it's Weaver's
Arcana.
Tools. Yeah, it's either Weaver's Tools or Arcana, yeah.
That's what I've been switching between, indeed. Let's go for a probably survival. I'm gonna look at things. Yeah, have it on Arcana.
That is a good plan.
And I'm gonna change it to survival. There's probably some hunter. Maybe my grandfather used to hunt a lot.
Sure.
I learned it from him.
That is all absolutely doable. Who all's gonna head out to the Hillcrest Ranch?
I am.
Yeah, Laurel will tag along.
If I am there for the moment they're departing, I don't say anything, but I make myself available, and if Lorelei is shooting me death glares or ignoring me totally, I'll just keep staying there.
She completely walls him. Just not like he's not even there. Just completely walls him.
Guess I'm not going to the Demon Cow. Fine with me.
Are you taking the forge cart out that way, or just gonna walk it? Does Lorelei's got a horse, right?
I don't think she does.
What? No, you
I
got
think this
a
whole time I've just been. Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember we all got, like, did you get horses or whatever? Mules?
Oh, it might be a mule. It might be a mule. I think it's a
Okay.
mule. Yeah. It wasn't a horse, it was a mule.
You guys not keep track of your animals?
Apparently. Well, she had
there's
Biscuit.
been a bit of change. You know, we got a fucking army jeep now.
But I think you still have your same Biscuit because B died. You
Biscuit!
kept
Yeah, yours was
Biscuit, and then
Biscuit!
Acrio
We'll
had
still
like
have
traded the
Biscuit.
whatever for the cart. The end.
Yeah. So yeah, we still got Biscuit.
Yeah, so you can choose to take Biscuit out to the ranch, or just walk it yourselves. Up to you.
Wait, where's Connie?
Connie
Where did
is there
Connie go?
too, okay? Connie's not
Okay,
dead.
good.
She's there.
Connie
Yes.
is
Don't
If we
worry,
run out of
for some
food though,
reason-
Connie's first.
No!
Connie's a fucking thoroughbred.
Yeah, that'll taste good.
Gosh.
But yeah, we'll take Biscuit and go.
Acrio will talk the entire time. Because he hasn't been able to forge stuff, he is going to talk about forging stuff.
He's gotta
The whole-
get it out some yeah.
He needs his vent.
Lorelei is actually quite grateful for it. She's a little glazed over. Not like she's in and out. She is paying attention, but it's sort of she's clearly troubled, but it's a welcome. It's like putting on a podcast in the background. It's like I just need something to occupy my brain right now.
It's not a good podcast, but god damn it, it is a podcast.
I'm an avid listener of the Acro Talks About Nothing But Forging for 45 minutes
Yeah.
a day
If
podcast.
you cool it too
It's
fast.
it's like wah 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 wah. Did you know that we lost like a lot of knowledge about tempering? Wah 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 wah. Yeah, like we just
You ever
forgot
about
how to
folded
harden
steel?
Like wah 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 wah. Damascus is pretty interesting. And wah 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 wah.
This episode is sponsored by Cithabella. Before you even reach the ranch itself, you would spy Cooper horseback amongst a herd and several other workers, and it's clear that he recognizes you as well. He will hop down off the horse that he has, letting it stand and graze, and make his way in your direction, but he's not going to go the whole way.
Yeah,
Well, close
meet
the
him
gap.
there. Yeah.
Several of his herding dogs, Stinsian cattle dogs, there's even one Japanese shepherd that are running around his feet and like keeping the cattle moved a certain way. As you're approaching, they will start to get a bit defensive, snarling, but he will give a sharp whistle and a heel and move up to him.
Hear about the Empire attack?
Talking specifically about the one last night. Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah. And if you know why they came earlier than before. Heard they came earlier in the year than they usually do.
Take off his hat, kind of brush it a little bit, wipe the sweat from his forehead. How to say what it is they do or why. Lost a good hand last night. My lead lost his wife. There's nothing to bury either. It is what we deal with.
Yeah. Well, besides pleasantries, I think you know why we're here one last time.
I do.
It's a long shot, but we have a couple options now. One of them might work.
Yeah, there's a there's a waterfall just past the pass. It catches a lot of the moonlight, and it's pretty much a shower of holy water. We thought we'd try there.
Walk with me.
Yeah, hop down off the
Yeah.
horse and
Recently had to send Regina, as well as my son, out to the Guy Reach Sanitarium. She just wasn't getting no better. Things around everywhere just getting worse. That night you showed up, Tuck. Someone shot him in the leg. He had burns all over his body. But I don't blame you. His tendencies started running wild. Thought I could keep him corralled, but he just doesn't understand folk. Not the way the rest of us do.
when did all of that start?
It all started with that fucking arch.
Yeah.
Bought this land. There was that shack out there. I thought it was a well house or something. Found that maze. There's a fucking place. You know, it was after Heather touched the thing. Changed. She didn't know what was happening. Obviously, how could anyone understand something like that? Brother tried to intervene, fix it, calm her down, do something. She's the one who kicked him in the head, made him like that. I tell you this just to make you understand. I've only got one thing left in my life, and I do not expect it to go well. If this doesn't work, if you and your church and your angels can't fix her, I want you to kill her quick. Bury her where you can.
It just, instead of a response, he just holds his hand out for a handshake.
Looks at it hesitantly, but will pull off one of his work gloves and reach out.
He'll nod and look back at everyone else.
You have our word. We'll make sure that she doesn't suffer, whatever happens.
That's all I can ask at this point. I thought maybe we could get something good out of all this shit. Guess that doesn't last either. Reaches down and gives one of his dogs that are following you a scratch behind the ears. And he seems to linger on Lorelei, looking at her maybe a little too long before turning back to the path that you were all walking.
Yeah, follow along till we hopefully stumble upon Heather Hillcrest.
You know why we keep dogs?
Loyalty? Easy to train?
Some of them more than others. Side-eyes one of his Scythian shepherds.
Hi, Dandy.
For the Scythian cattle dogs, yeah. You know, they used to be wolves. We bred it out of them. Thought we could domesticate them. The wolf. Something about them. Spirit of the land itself, nature. We people, human beings, thought we could rule it all. Bend everything to our will. But that doesn't last. You ever seen a dog turn on its master? It's horrifying. But that's the wolf in him. As you approach the farmhouse, the wind making that little farm propeller, the well tower, spin and creak. But everything else is quiet, and you can just imagine the empty rooms in his estate at this point. We think we can build. We think we can make something that lasts. are fools.
Doesn't always have to last. Sometimes just existing for a little bit is better than not existing at all.
But there's still the impulse, ain't there? Pass something on to the next generation, make it so they don't have to work near as hard as you did. I guess I'll give this over to my lead hand when I'm gone. Maybe his kids, if he's a couple years older than I am. We'll see how long we all make it. Or maybe I burn the whole fucking thing to the ground. We'll see. Here, back around this way.
Follow. Can I get a brief insight check on him? Does it look like he's like, did it look like that was a joke, or is genuinely considering like, I'll fucking torch this whole place?
Yeah, make an insight check.
I wanted to see if he's just like, cracking a wry joke, or if he's like, yeah, I'm the death now.
Start playing the song Hell's Coming With Me.
You detect, a bit of humor there. He does have a dry sense, but at the same time, you think he may be considering what you had said, it's best to exist for a little while sometimes, and he's like, maybe I don't need to leave anything, and when I'm gone, it all goes with me. Assuming he doesn't have anyone to leave it to.
Keep something for Heather to come back to, though. We'll do everything we can to make sure that she does.
I can't tell you how many nights I've stayed up trying to make things go back to the way they was. They never do. You move forward or not at all. And if you're not moving, you're falling behind. He will open up one of the padlocked little sheds that he has. Clearly one of the older ones for probably grain storage, or most likely the dairy canisters or something like that. And you find inside this black and white furred cow with what seems to be still that leather-ish made hood that Acrio had crafted over the face.
If the cow bondage hood.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, if you know what you're looking for, you can tell that it's not like strictly exactly a cow. Like the joints don't look quite right and everything. The face was obviously the most glaring evidence, but yeah, now that you know, it's like you can see it's not a perfect transmutation.
I'll walk over to Heather and like sort of kneel down in her periphery. I don't know how much of her does the hood cover her entire line of sight, or is it like
it does, and that's it does, but that's also for course blinders purposes, make sure she doesn't get distracted or is easy enough to herd.
Yeah, she'll kneel down sort of in front and just like reach out and gently put a hand on Heather's head.
Shift in recognition of something's touching her.
Gonna fix this, Heather. Hang in there. And she'll stand up and look at Acrio.
He'll just nod and look at the cow, hopeful that his insanity bears some fruits of labor.
Don't suppose I could persuade you all to stay for lunch?
Yeah, I mean, we're not in that much of a hurry, I think.
Smash cut to Cillian and Amrita just like waiting at the cart ready to go.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are they? They're just like having lunch and like, so how's, tell me about those stable hands.
Tell me about all your family that's gone now.
Tell me about your wife.
Oh,
bird. Yeah, we can stay for lunch.
Then back in town, eventually, Cillian and Amrita, wherever you're at, I think Cillian, as you're finishing up this little alteration that you've made to the cloak, you catch sight of this white-haired figure, and at first you think it was Asuriel, just maybe out of hope, but you realize it's Val moving your way with this horse, this white horse that was given to him more or less upon Asuriel's departure.
Just in time, buddy.
He looks a bit sickly, thinner than normal, but his hair, always covering that scarred up side of his face, is just like drooping even more as he just nods grimly a few times.
I think I'm thankful to have someone who will not talk back to me listen to me for a bit. I uncork some things that are stuck. with him. And I guess Amrita's there too, probably, maybe.
She can be or not. It's up to her what she'd be doing.
Maybe not right away, because she was going to the stables to check on Petunia.
Can I have Sage make a stealth check, please?
Okay.
What did the old lady do? She stole all the cookies.
Then,
That's what she did.
It's very apparent to Cillian as she makes her way toward the cart, and as he's in the middle of, or maybe toward the tail end of, unbottling a lot of issues.
And then this amazing woman showed up, and she offered to guide us through the mountains. Isn't that wonderful, Val? We
He's
couldn't
like-
have asked for a better guide.
You can see him get somewhat confused by the change in tone.
Aw, you don't need to flatter me, young man.
Ah, can't help it. You're just so flatterable. I spoke to your son this morning. He seems fine, thankfully.
Yes, checked on him and the kids. Seems everything's alright. A little shaken.
Yeah, you sure you're okay to leave him?
Oh, he'll be fine. I don't really drag him down anyway.
Okay. Well,
Had a good
thank
night.
you. Oh no, terrible one. I'm sure you are the same.
It ain't the worst. But it's definitely up there.
Have I seen that my own hair turned white?
Cillian seems the type who's prone to look in mirrors, and
that is true.
most
That is
every
true.
house and business in Stinzia has a welcome mirror ward
Mhm.
off vampires. So yeah, if he would have definitely checked himself out, yeah, you would have noticed.
Oh.
See, terrible night. My hair turned white from the stress.
And I always thought you were older than you looked.
I mean, I'll age gracefully. That's one thing that's for sure, but not yet, no.
Man, what you talking about before I got here?
You, of course. What else are we talking about?
Young men like you don't really talk about old ladies, I gotta say.
Oh, now I talk about old men more often, I think.
Interesting fella, aren't you?
I hope so. I'll leave an impression.
Y'all ready? I see there's a few people missing.
Yeah, they're taking a stop at Cooper's, making sure we're leaving with, in nice graces.
What?
You know, we have a kind of rocky relationship with him. I'd say more down than up. We're just trying to leave him with a smile on his face.
Well, I suppose that's sweet enough. Yeah, I hope it don't take too long. Don't want to get to the cabin before sunset.
Can I ask you something, Sage?
Of course.
If you ever get in a conversation with Lorelei, would you spur her on to get mad at me? Because I can't deal with this fucking shit, and she just needs to fucking chew me out. She's not doing it, and it's frustrating. But I can't get mad at that, because who would I be then to get mad at her for reacting the way she does? But I just think she needs to... And you, I don't know, you seem like an instigator.
Yeah, so that's what you were talking about before.
Well, partly,
Interesting
yeah.
way to get women to talk to you, I gotta say.
Oh, I have no problem with getting women to talk to me.
Except
Just,
this
you know,
one.
the ones I care about.
I see. You need to choose your words a bit better sometimes, I think.
Don't have that time.
Age gracefully, Mom, no.
Are they still not back yet?
Oh, hey. No. Probably giving him favors.
What does Amrita's forehead actually look by this point, even though it's just been the surgery? I imagine she still has to keep it wrapped up, but has it
Yeah, I was gonna
sort
say
of healed better?
the bandages probably would have wept a little bit. However, Lorelei's healing did help seal up most of the more egregious cuts, so like the scars are still very apparent, but it's surface-wise, it's not like gushing blood or anything like that.
Here.
Yeah.
And I reveal the cloak. What you're looking for?
Oh, yeah. What's this on the side?
I don't know. It's a cloak that was completely empty. It was so boring. So I plan on adding more, and that's the first thing I thought of.
Seems like a really nice gesture. Perhaps, actually, while we're traveling, you could probably, I used to stitch with my mother a lot, but I need to stitch some other stuff that is even stitchable, including this. Kind of looks down at, like, the tunic, the past tears, if you wouldn't mind, of course.
I'd love to.
And potentially even get bored enough to work a little bit on that as you wait for Lorelei and Acrio to return.
Yeah, sure.
But eventually, you do see them making their way down the main street of Silburn with this black and white, definitely totally a cow with a weird leather hood on and a leash almost.
You need to stop fucking saying words. I'm killing Heather in the street. We're done.
You won't stop.
Just stop.
Heather's dead.
It's rope. It's a lariat. We'll call it a lariat.
Sure.
But I wasn't expecting Kendall to be coming along.
Right. Didn't work out.
They just didn't expect you guys to bring dinner.
No, she's not dinner.
No.
I wouldn't recommend eating Heather. You'll probably get like some weird...
Definitely not.
Do we still get does the milk still come from Heather, or does the milk come from...
I don't think they Heather milk anymore.
Don't,
Yeah, they
don't
don't have their milk anymore, but
Let's
the
not
milk
think
did
about
come
it.
from
Let's
Heather.
just go.
Yeah, let's just stop. Let's just stop.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the cool blue milk, right?
Oh, sick. So we still have a source of cool blue milk.
Star Wars milk.
No, just stop.
Before Lorelei and Acrio show up, I think Cillian changed his mind about something and is gonna leave a total of 30 gold among the people they left kits to. Just, I don't know, hidden under the mat or something.
Absolutely. Somewhere they'll probably look eventually to find it.
So one family just never checks the spot you hid it.
No, but then in 5
house,
years'
so
time, it's that moment where you put on an old jacket and you find money in it. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, or pants. Yeah.
Yeah, so when he arrives, just look at everybody, ask if they're ready to go.
More than ready. Wanna
Yeah, let's get
out of
cracking.
Stengia. Come on, one man. Long road ahead, buddy.
He's gonna lean over to Lorelei. He's like, got a few screws loose, don't he?
Doesn't say a word.
Usually Val has some difficulty getting into the saddle of this pure white thoroughbred horse with his one arm. It's like weird. He's reaching over and trying to hoist himself up in the stirrups, but he will eventually get it, and the group of you can make your way out through the same gates the Markov vampires left the previous night, traveling north on the road.
Do we put Heather in the car, or is she walking with us?
Oh, is my arm okay now?
I think.
Questions.
So, as to the Heather question, there's probably not room in the cart for a whole ass
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So no, you could probably just tether her rope to it to keep her moving. Acrio, you had specifically said you were forging like most of the time. You can make a Constitution saving throw.
Con saves. Fuck.
Yeah, not at disadvantage. You are not exhausted anymore, so you can get rid of that.
Still a 14.
It did feel pretty bad this morning. It's like sore, and you're thinking, it's not completely unfunctional. It's just painful.
I'm assuming Sage is in the cart up front to give guidance.
That makes
However,
sense.
she would like to be.
She's the one in the passenger seat with the map.
Yes, and whoever's driving is getting their ear talked off about her children, her life, the mountains, anything she can think of.
I need you to roll a persuasion check against me, because I'm going to talk your ear off more than you can talk my ear off, and I'm... Fuck.
Persuasion off, persuasion off.
Cillian
Who's dominated
feels
it?
like he should-
It's my car. I want to talk about politics.
Wait, what
Rip
is he
Sage.
talking about?
Metal alloys, different styles of metalworking, metal through the ages, different styles of armor, pre-Avacyn and post-Avacyn, alloys that were lost because of the collapse, everything.
Yeah, she looks interested. Like,
Quarries and places
information.
stone, interesting stone can come from. The fact his hammer is partially made of stone, so stone forging must be a thing.
Yeah, like it starts with metal, and then as he runs out of metal topics, he's like, "Oh, by the way, stone," and that's.
You think, "Oh, finally, he's running out of metal. Finally, some quiet," and he's like, "So this hammer's made out of stone."
Oh hell no, she's absolutely fucking enjoying this. Somebody talking to her, like, willingly.
Rare.
Amrita whispering it back to Cillian's like, okay, tell me one of your stories now instead before I hear more about a damn rock.
We have been waiting for weeks.
Yeah, Lorelei will be
Now is
on
the
heather
time.
duty.
Now is the time.
Val does not converse with anyone.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie.
Shocking.
Yeah, I don't.
So quiet.
Groundbreaking.
However, for the purposes of the next several days to a week of travel, we're going to do an advanced skill trial. See how well the Ruined
I
Path
am
treats you.
terrified. I need to pull up the sheet because it's been a long time.
Oh fuck!
Please
I don't
do.
know what I'm good at.
I already have it open.
This is why I have all my shit written down.
This is why I have Google Keep, because I go back and forth
baby.
a lot, so I don't think...
Do we start on the 5 or before the 5?
You would start on the 5 spot,
Yeah.
with that being the DC of your first check. The initial stage of this, you're set out. Sage, you know, on your own, you could probably make it up to your cabin in like a long day of trekking. But you guys got a late start, and with this wagon, and you're having to go on the more footpaths than full traffic paths, you're probably not going to make it on the first day. So you're going to have to camp, and there will be evidence and sounds of wolves howling in the night. Whether or not you deal with that directly depends on what you guys do with your skills.
Cool.
So, head and boom. Everyone can add themselves to the turn order.
Val will T-pose in the distance. Got it.
Not
Wait
surprisingly,
a fucking second.
for the Outlander, Amrita is going to be the first to go.
Okay. Is there any history that she might have read up on or learned about in regard to the Cruin Pass? Anything
Potentially.
pertaining to creatures?
Mhm.
History, and then probably, if it's a success, move to Red 8. Oh, shit. Okay.
God damn.
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 Perhaps during the time in the lead up to the surgery, when you had nothing else to do in town, took a moment to find out everything you could about the Cruin Pass. You know, or you discovered that the current pass is what's developed over time of people going back and forth between Gavany and Stinzia. There is, as Casper had mentioned, a bridge that was built over the gorge to help facilitate some travel, specifically for materials that are mined out of the Gaia Reach Mountains and then taken to Thraben. But it's not probably going to accommodate a cart of such magnitude as Acrio's, so you're going to have to use the old path, which was what people first used before, modernizing the path. So it is going to be treacherous, you would imagine. And there are mountain creatures. There were the Vrock that you had encountered on the Needle's Eye Pass that seemed to have had some kind of deal with the witch Lashira. Those are an issue, kind of these demonically influenced buzzards. There are tales of griffins up in these mountains, but of course you also have issues with the standard wolves. Ridge wolves specifically are a problem up here, and that's probably what you guys will deal with in the coming evenings.
Both taking a page out of Amrita's book and needing to fight for a second, he goes on the offensive for the wolves and doesn't wait for them to come to them. So he tries to hunt them down, and with an attack roll, I would like to do the first thing.
Is he trying to do melee with this? I mean, it'll be the same regardless. Or is he trying to keep distance, but...
He's missing his trusted needles, so he wants to use those.
Nice. The first night, as you're camping out, yeah, you just catch sight of the flicker of eyes on the edge of the firelight. And how does he immediately react to that? Is it like a burst of violence, or is it a calculated thing?
His emotions are too up his throat to be calculated right now. I think it's a very don't fuck with me right now. And go on the offensive. He might even just make a sound so that he comes towards him, and in that full sprint towards him, he just nails it in the throat.
There was almost a moment when you thought this may have been that same black wolf that you had spotted in town, but as it enters the edge of the firelight and you hit it with the needle, and it yelps, and it's not enough to kill it, but it does scramble away wounded. You can definitely tell it was like a grayish, patchy ridge wolf coloration.
Poggeronies, bro.
And the exhilaration is cathartic.
As we're sort of moving through, initially Lorelei wants to like keep her open. I don't know if this would be like Arcana or History, but just to, because this is the same exit that the Markovs took, I want to see if, based on what I have seen from the brief brushes with them, if I see like if there's any sign that maybe they didn't go all the way back, if like maybe there's any like if they left behind any kind of like insignia or equipment, or could that be Markov's? Just sort of trying to remember, trying to cross-reference anything we find. She's not like looking for anything, but anything that we do find is like, was that?
Gotcha. What you come across maybe. Then I would allow either one.
Okay, sick. They're both the same. But Arcana.
Whichever flavor you would like. The most obvious thing as you move north the first day out of Silburn, and as the night approaches, what might have been mistaken in darker hours for just extra peaks in the mountain range to the north. In sunset, there's a sharpness and a glimmer to them of this manor estate, and you see multiple ones as you're moving along, the rooftops and spires, all in the northern mountains. The Markov estate. There are way shrines along this path. You would suspect that they are more Avacynian in nature. The churches establish ones, barriers, and places for people to rest that are maybe supposed to be safe, but you also know the way shrine south of Gulst was less so. You're not sure if the ones who attacked Silburn, you're not sure where they would have gone, you're not a tracker, but the amount of estates that you can just catch sight of kind of looming in the distance could be any of them.
Doing a good old constitution check, just keep it healthy while I hold these reins with my broken ass arm.
That is a success, as you more your vocal cords that get strained this day, but
oh yeah. Yeah, just
but
talk.
The higher you get up into the mountains, you do recognize that the air is thinner in the Gaia Reach, and it is kind of an adjustment period. Luckily, you're not having to walk it yourself, you're just sitting in the cart, but yeah, you feel that change in altitude and the less and less oxygen that there is up here.
Alright, gonna do a little short bow attack, scare them wolves off.
Is she trying to kill any of them, or is it more a warning shot to ward?
I'd say it's more a warning shot. She'd probably have like one of those whistling arrows that makes a really loud sound and startle them off.
Nice. You would all see that Sage, even though she's riding, like she's always got this massive pack that doesn't even seem like a person of her size should be able to carry. And there's just anything you could possibly imagine get pulled out of these pockets, including a short bow that you didn't even know she had, just pulls out, strings real quick, a few arrows, and launches one into the night. Fortunately, you do not encounter any wolf attacks due to the efforts of Cillian and Sage and Amrita both being able to skirt around most evidence of hazardous things. You have a fairly successful first couple of days until you meet or you reach this outcropping with a shack-like cabin that Sage seems to call her abode. And I'm reading.
Oh, look at that shitty thing.
Oh, that shitty thing raised 2 kids. You be respectful of it.
Oh, it's your... right. No, it's wonderful. It's lovely. I would love to live here.
And she'll go in, set up little mattress rolls for everyone to rest in. Make... the fuck would she make? I'd say she has a shitload of cheese.
No. You know what?
Oh no.
So
How's
She's
Yard's
making
The cereal
what's
traveled
it-
back in time.
what's it called? Chalet soup. It's kind of like a fondue.
Yeah.
Fucking delicious.
Just
When this is
you just made cheese soup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, when this is happening, I imagine when it gets to Amrita's top of the round again. Who do I want to insight?
So before
There's
that,
definitely
I
not
just
anything weird going on with the party.
There's definitely
just-
anything not going weird on with Val. Yeah, I'm sure.
I just want to point out that like the one thing Vistani and normal people can agree on is that people who live out in the fucking forest in cabins are weird as shit. Like
Fuck off.
I think they're weird because they don't have walls around them, and the Vistani think they're weird because they're stationary. And it's like, who the fuck are those guys?
I would just like to dispute the claim Vistani people and normal people keep your...
That's racist.
Yeah, normal people in Vistani. Acrio, you can't say that.
Yeah. There.
On Val?
Yes.
I mean, what are you looking for specifically? He's quiet, but that's normal. You notice he hasn't written anything, hasn't gone for his paper and quill at all, it seems. Anything else
Yeah,
specific?
she would have expected for him to at least do it once with the others, but maybe he's actually picking up on what Amrita told him, but I don't know if she'd pick up on if he looks healthy or not right now.
He has been
Or however
glancing
he's been
back
acting.
behind him on the trail for a lot of the day as you've left Silburn. As I said, he does seem a little sickly or thinner than he had been, although you know he's had a rough go of it the past few weeks in the Needle's Eye Pass and then coming back, so yeah.
Okay.
I will take this moment to talk to Sage a little bit, keep with her in the front, and help her push us through till the pass. And I want to use survival.
Damn.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Learn
This
from Amrita.
grandfather as well, kind of all of
Yeah.
it coming together. Everything when you were on the road with Amrita for almost a month, traveling to Shadowed Range, the Geists in your past that can assist you, as well as Sage pointing out things, once you leave her cabin, it's surprisingly smooth sailing, as the expression goes. The cart's rattling over everything. It's clearly not made for this kind of apparatus anymore. You can kind of catch, Cillian, the trail marks that existed in prior generations when the pilgrims first were moving across these mountains and moving into Stinzia. There's still that vague evidence in the rock of tracks that have moved back and forth constantly.
I think that anything on the road that might show you where to go is pretty sacred to Cillian, and he will talk of those things highly.
And there definitely are little cairns and not signposts exactly, but things that you recognize. There probably are a few old Vistani style markers, maybe even a few bandit-like thief cant symbols that you recognize worn into the stone, as well as the overgrowth of kind of that mountainous cypress trees. The heat of the year approaching, the desert-dwelling plants are more in bloom at this time. The mountain cacti and things like spiky yucca plants are getting their white flower clusters on them. It's actually kind of a serene up here where the air is thin.
Oh yeah.
Sage would point to one of those cans like, yeah, I built that one a few years ago.
Good old
Ooh.
times.
You are doing the angel's work, Sage.
You're actually staying focused
Ruffle
on
his hair.
finding a path.
Yeah. Of course I am.
Oh. She is smoking a pipe, by the way. As the
devil's
trail
lettuce?
goes on. The devil's lettuce. Look, she's in the mountains. It's
Wait,
close
is it a
enough.
Gandalf pipe? Let it be a Gandalf pipe. If it's not, I'll be upset.
Gandalf pipe or we riot.
But I'd say it looks like a little carved eagle.
The first time you try to put it on when Cillian is next to you, he takes it from you when you've lit it and takes one himself and then gives it back.
Worst
You
blood
could
rotation.
ask.
Just wondering what you're smoking, and that's the quickest way to find out.
Oh, some my own brew I found around here. There's definitely weed in these mountains.
And various types of mushrooms. Some peyote.
Oh, we can get some ayahuasca in this shit. Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
As we're moving, I think Lorelei is trying to just be as ignored as possible. So I think it'll be stealth to just be completely quiet, as she will just, focus on taking care of Heather. Make sure, barely the party even kind of registers that she's really doing anything, and anything that does happen upon us, would hopefully ignore her and Heather. Just full inconspicuousness. Never mind. I forgot about that.
And she didn't attend the services, right? She stayed locked in her room, so no
Yeah, she did.
search bonus, unfortunately. It really is due to this well appreciated, but at the same time somewhat inconvenient brigandine that Acrio has constructed for her. You're still getting used to it. It's great when you do have to face things, but it's just so difficult to deal with this amount of armor, and you're not quite sure how he does it all the time.
It's like, what the hell the fuck?
Armor all the time. But
I
sleeping.
totally fucking forgot. I always forget that I have disadvantage on stealth. I was like, shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Rip.
And it's like, it's definitely not worth using a hero point or inspiration to reroll, but I'm just like, I'm pissed. Looking at Lorelei like, you fucker.
I hardly know her. I'll do persuasion.
That is a success. You're just keeping everybody rallied.
Yeah, just like out of character, Tristan's the one who needs to be herded. But in character, I'm going to plan the battlefield. Just keep everybody in line. Someone meanders off that way, like, hey, join the herd again. Keep everyone pointed in the direction that the smart people are telling us to go, while keeping some form of formation.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
try
you
to
can
make
get distracted, but I
everybody-
can't.
Prepared for anything that might be incoming, yes.
Yeah.
She's gonna do some little nature check-in.
A nature check to smoke weed.
You can augment all of your supplies very easily, and with your knowledge of the natural world, it assists also in this path because there are huge gaps where people have not traveled for any time, and it's a matter of navigating, finding game trails where animals have found the paths of least resistance, as well as making sure you guys can always find a mountain stream or anywhere you can refresh yourselves over the course of the travel, because water is going to run scarce. As warm as it is this time of year and the thinness of the air, it just makes it feel like more of a struggle to keep going, so staying hydrated will be important.
What is that again? Is it the proficiency added, or
Yeah.
is it just 20?
DC
Okay.
15 for a boon, and it is, your D20 plus your proficiency.
Which is a 3.
Not lucky this time, Amrita.
Sad.
You are, however, the first to notice, as you guys have made a camp not far from not a basin exactly, but the large mountain lake not far from the Markov estates. You can hear the river flowing out of it in the distance as you're north of the gorge, where the main traffic of the Kroon Pass would be. The nights are cooler, but you're feeling the temperature drop drastically. And Cillian, you're the next to roll for a boon. Nice. We'll get to the specifics of it at the end, but when you start to feel this temperature change, you can see in the distance and you can feel the presence of geists. And the rest of everyone will eventually start to hear these distant wails and cries as a horde of specters seems to be coming down the mountain.
Mine's why it's so cold.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Yeah, as these specters are approaching, Lorelei will sort of figure out that she can't really be quiet. So it's like, fuck, alright, I guess I'll just get involved. And she will just call out to the specters, "We're just passing through. We don't mean to bother you. You can pass and we will pass."
You call out to these undead beings. Although it doesn't appear that they react to it at all, maybe they do, maybe they don't, they are caught up in the clouds. It's like they were coming like mist from the mountains, and I would say Sage would probably recognize, after a moment of processing, why it was getting so cold and everything, this phenomena that occurs occasionally, and it can be anywhere in Innistrad, although it's somewhat rare. The ghost riders in the clouds, sometimes referred to as the eternal drovers, these geists on horseback that just, typically don't see them, you feel them more than anything else, riding through the skies, sometimes referred to in older eras as the wild hunt, just passes over you, and there is a layer of frost on the camp. Acrio, you're up.
Blue? A motherfucking tool check. I'll do Smith's tools for the cart, because with all this bumpy road, 100% at some point the wheel's going to bump up, crash to the ground, and just crack in half. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Hey, you did it.
Partially it's just preventative maintenance, partially it is anything that does go wrong. Using the hammer as well to mend smaller things, keep things moving.
Gonna do insight check, which will just be straight wisdom. Either getting a feel for the temperature around the camp, the social temperature, and or maybe trying to see if the wild hunt is looking to hunt some humans tonight. Oh dear God.
It's impossible to
Everyone's
tell.
fine.
The exact motives of the Eternal Drovers is unknown to anyone. Whether or not they're here specifically because you are making your way through this pass, or you just happen to stumble upon one of their movements, is really anyone's guess.
Well, would you look at that? Wild hunt. Yeah, let's hope they ain't hunting us tonight. Yeah. Takes a deep inhale of that pipe.
I do not like this situation one bit. If there is ice on the ground, I think she would shoot a fire arrow.
Doing what? Because you're on.
Oh wait, that'd be done.
Blue.
Never mind. Actually,
So-
that's on me. Never mind. I'll just stealth instead to remain hidden.
Complete opposite of Lorelei, who marches out to the edge of the camp and calls out to these spirits in the sky. Amrita, your training has mostly been in corporeal monsters. You've never been trained really, maybe in a bit of study, but never in combat with the incorporeal undead. So the instinct is to just not be where they are, not be found by them or seen.
I want to use persuasion on Lorelei. The goal here not being to lessen any of the cold, but that they have each other's backs if it comes down to it. He's just bold, and in the middle of these geists, he walks next to her, ignores her ignoring him, and says, I've realized that being truthful and not lying are not the same thing. The cards asked me to be truthful. I was wrong, and I'm not looking for anything from you, but I do want you to know that I think the only thing that comes from you is care. And what doesn't is the darkness I claimed does. Because you keep that inside. Somehow. I don't know how. Know that I am sorry, and I'm not looking for... No, sorry. I'm bad at this. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. No.
Fine, you have backed me into a corner. I'm on a red space. Lorelei cannot react to this in a nice way. I'm on a red space.
So it's perfect then.
Yes, follow the instincts. I will now click persuasion.
You don't have to use your skill to reply to that, Lorelei.
I know, but I kind of want to.
Yeah, but yes, persuasion if you would so choose.
Backhand him.
Or deception.
No, the cards asked him to be truthful, so he will.
And wise.
Which is a little harder for him.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. As Cillian tends to leave, I don't know whether this would count as like acrobatics or like a dex save or something, just to move quickly. But as he turns to leave, she will grab his arm and wordlessly give him the gloves back that he made for her. She just hands them back to him without saying a single word. It's a story beat.
Yeah.
I'm committed to it. Fuck.
Fuck.
No, you know what? No. Oh, no, wait, hold on.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna inspiration. I don't want to fail this skill trial.
And then they kiss.
You good?
Worth it.
No.
It's a smooth and subtle motion as she catches your arm, Cillian, and just turns away, and you realize you are just stuck holding this pair of gloves. Like, you hadn't even quite realized she had pressed them against you, but they're in your hands.
My emotion creeps up, and I think about just leaving him here on the ground. But I think better of it. And one of the first things I add to my Griffin saddleback, or Griffin hide bag, is a gift returned. And I talk to geists, because that's what I'm good at.
Can my moon be Avacyn returns?
Unfortunately, no, but you did have a bit of, it's like a light going on. Light bulbs haven't been invented, but a candle being ignited in your mind.
Yay.
Some of the training you had and the few things they did make you read at the Elgid grounds.
I can't read.
The Ghost Riders, the legend says that they were some kind of group of soldiers, mercenaries, something like that, that made an oath, what was referred to as the Black Iron Pact, supposedly the church's belief on how they got started. You're not sure exactly what their oath was, but you have heard that pieces of the equipment, the tack of their horses, the armor that they wear has been recovered after they have appeared, and the black iron itself has properties.
Oh yeah.
Acrio is freaking out in camp.
And I'm gonna say you do recover a small, piece of a stirrup the next day, and it is
Damn, boy.
it is like a black, almost pockmarked iron that is actively cold to the touch.
Oh,
Say-
the edge.
Let's do some perceiving and hope it goes better.
It does.
Goodbye.
So, the next day of travel, after this, the appearance of the black iron packed in the sky, there's this, it's like a cold front moving in the warmer time of year. There is a fairly substantial storm that is going to break out, and you do catch sight of it beforehand, so you can tell everyone to kind of huddle down and make as much shelter as possible before it hits.
Cozy under the tent, smoking a pipe. Oh, that's such a
boxing.
vibe.
I should say, this storm's going to last several days in the mountains, so
Oh, fuck.
potentially the next few skills will have to relate to this travel in the storm, if you want to move at all, or how you're going to survive waiting it out. It's up to you.
Okay. I imagine if they are waiting it out, Amrita will go to Acrio and say to him, all right, while you are a man of the church, I think it would be a best idea, considering, as a thank you for the axe, I can teach you some skills and moves that it's important to avoid when encountering monstrosities of any kind in Innistrad. Movements that members of the church don't typically know, and if you want to exchange movements in return, we can work on that. We're going to be stuck here a while anyway. We'll do it with your armor on and without your armor on, but you might want to try and practice without it on first.
I think I can handle some moves with my armor on. First move, immediately trips and falls on his face. And it's like, okay, we'll do it without armor.
All right. This is on the red. Would this be athletics, acrobatics, or either or, maybe?
Your choice. You did attend the church
I did,
service,
yeah.
so yeah, you get a D4 on top of that.
Okay. I will roll that.
Roll a 2. Roll a 2. Roll a 2.
Oh, I had a D4 to scare that vampire.
You fucking jinxed me. Fuck off.
Do you have any hero points or anything you would like to spend?
I do have I have 2 hero points. I'm going to use one of those. This is a good moment, damn it. I want it to pass.
Acrio, you think you do recognize the formula somewhat, but you were taught, for the most part, fighting with a unit. Cathars obviously have to be prepared if they're caught by themselves as well, but a lot of your tactics are very defensive and a lot of positioning and cooperation and that sort of thing. The things that Amrita are teaching you are very solo combatant and about fighting monsters one-on-one, a lot of Soulsborne rolls and that sort of thing. Tuck and roll,
Yeah.
more than
Lorelei,
just
Lorelei,
stand with
look
shield
at this!
and
Dodge
everybody
rolls.
get hit.
It's
Yeah.
like dodge rolling in circles around Lorelei.
Yeah. Pairing is very important, especially if none of us are around in time or make it to where you are.
Yeah.
And in exchange,
We'll
you
put
are
some
able
work in
to
it.
teach Emery a little bit more group combat cooperation tactics.
Yeah.
I want to do what we always did at the Vistani if weather was bad. We ask the spirits when it will pass. So I want to use a tool check to do a Taroka check, or Taroka deck. And I want to pull 3 cards. I'm going to pull the cards first, I think.
Sure.
Pull up.
And Taroka with intelligence to interpret. So you pull the First of all, the mists, which is one of Cillian's favorite cards, if I recall. Usually
card.
meaning something coming in that is unexpected, mysterious, and can also be referring to a quest or a journey. And perhaps very intentionally, the next card is the Master of Stars, referring to wizards, mysteries, riddles, the unknown. This idea of the mist and the Master of Stars going together is incredibly potent. And the final card, being the Elementalist, the Five of Stars, distinctly refers to the triumph of nature over civilization, natural disasters, and that sort of thing. You do not suspect this storm is going to go well at all.
No, but I do think we need to pass through it. I think this leads him to go on the journey instead of avoiding it, and it might be terrible, but it's also the best choice.
And I believe that is a success, so that will bring you to the goal as well for the skill trial. As always, those who make it will gain inspiration for this. So,
Boon
on the
time.
boon,
Boon
let's see
shenanigans.
what mysterious and unexpected events occur.
Yeah, let's see what I fuck up for us. God fucking cunt! I'll take it. I'll just move.
Did you go to the church?
No.
No, she didn't.
You know I didn't go to the church. I was busy having my shadow-related mental breakdown.
Got a wizard money gang.
Which you had kind of avoided during the travel. Luckily, Stinzia is shadowy enough during the days even that you hadn't really paid too much attention. But during this storm, every time lightning flashes, it doesn't matter which direction you are positioned, you see this shadowy silhouette of yourself, and it's always a bit different than the position you are in, Lorelei.
Cool.
Mm.
I'm gonna do survival. Because Acrio, when they get to Acrio telling Amrita how to do stuff, he's like, yeah, if you just hide behind your shield, then you can't get hit.
No, because shields are not always help. All right. I'm listening.
So he's gonna do survival. And he's going to whip out some of the... He's going to teach the wilderness liver how to live in the wilderness. he's gonna be...
That's a Cathar, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fucking Cathar is gonna whip out stream patterns.
Some fucking passages from the Codex Angelorum about wilderness survival.
So this is just for the mountains of Stinzia, right? Because that would have been helpful, well, 1 year and 3 months ago for me. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, now in hindsight,
maybe if you read your scriptures more. But yes, that is a success. And additionally, when you do all eventually have to make your way out with the storms, perhaps it was refreshing your memory on some of these angelic teachings about nature that help Acrio in guiding the cart and assisting Sage even with the finding the paths and avoiding being swept off the side of this cliff.
Boon.
Boon meme.
Find some more weed.
I don't want to go down on
That,
I think
I'll let you. So here's the thing: the way this is going to work, I'm going to let you, within reason, at the end of this, describe what the boon will be.
Dankest Kush.
Everyone has a +1 to chill checks.
Unfortunately, it comes with a +1 munchies, but you know what.
Oh no.
everyone loses 1 level of supply.
I just ate my whole supply.
Amrita and Cillian both have succeeded, so we are back to Lorelei.
Right, as we are moving, we're moving through the storm. It's still storming, right? We didn't wait it all the way out. Yeah, as we're moving through, I would like to sort of insight check the whole group and sort of see if anyone is like really struggling, if anyone's like, if they look like they got like really waterlogged socks and they're really struggling. So run a little surveying glance over the squad of Fuck me. I'm gonna hero point that because I think that'll knock me out.
Okay.
So I need a 3. Come on, hero
3 or
point.
higher.
It's up
Hey!
It's 3.
Be the hero you were meant to be. Val's probably struggling the hardest, honestly, which you find a little bit interesting because he did grow up traveling the roads, and it's not so much that he's forgotten how, it's just that his mind's not in it. And he communicates the best he can in the soaking rain where he can't get out, paper or chalk or ink or anything, so it's like it's broken, and it's hard to determine what it is he's even trying to convey, but you do have a decent insight, and anyone else who needs an assist, you are, except for maybe Cillian, available.
She'd still help, she's just not talking to him.
I think Cillian really doesn't need help in the rain. I think he like lies on his back on his horse and just enjoys it.
Alright, for my last one, I'm gonna do an insight, but not for the whole party, just for Lorelei. And I get to roll this at advantage.
I
love how we're all just like, we're gonna inside each other, bitch.
Yeah.
Sounds like something's up with Lorelei, dude. Something's up.
Nobody's communicating, we're just all like eyeballing each other, like what the fuck's going on here?
No response. He just kind of assumes that she's not doing great, because like sleeping at night, he saw like Lorelei and Cillian have a thing that he didn't really hear, but he saw, and it didn't look like it ended well. So he kind of just hops off of the wagon to let hopefully the old lady not drive it off a cliff. And then just yeah.
You've seen Salty playing SnowRunner, don't do this.
She turns around and steals it.
Yeah. He's like, get fucked, losers!
GTA, bitch!
That's her boon, is she has a forge cart now.
Yeah. So he's just going to hop on the horse with Lorelei and just ride with her in silence. Just provide company.
Also, you okay? Do you want to see this medal I found?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, Lorelei is... She's struggling, but I think she appreciates the comfort, and she might have a bit of a snivel while they're together, but she won't really talk.
We're gonna do some I had it in my brain. Some survival.
Survival
of the fittest.
Son of a bitch.
Granny's getting on in years.
He's getting the cart off the fucking road.
Is that 2?
I rolled a 2, yeah.
Or, I mean, is that 2 fails, I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's a 2 fails. That's 2 fails.
Okay, cool. So she's still in it.
Really don't want to fail this. I don't like my chance. And I don't like my chances. Did you?
I'll drum roll.
I don't remember if this is something that you rolled or not. Does using a spell automatically succeeded?
I believe that's what it says. Yeah, casting a spell of first level
grants
or higher
automatic.
is available on any path if appropriate to the occupied space. Grants an automatic success at cast at the player's loss of a slot or a spell scroll.
In that case, as we're going through the storm, it won't really do much like mechanically, but I think as we're going through the storm, she will take stock of like who's kind of struggling the most and cast Bless as sort of just like a, hold it together kind of thing.
So that will help because effectively, what I was going to say for Sage before someone got called away, with the fail of her survival, as she's the one guiding the cart, the horses are going to start to lose their footing. They're going to start sliding in the mud, and so if you use Bless to cast on these horses and Sage, that will stop the cart from tumbling
then
off the trail.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you let me use Bless for that, I 100% will. That is a very, very good use of a spell slot to stop us careening into an abyss.
Yay.
Yay, succeedment.
And with kiss?
We leave the
So,
old one behind.
old Sage, see if you can survive the pass with them.
There's a real irony that the guide is the one that's lagging behind in the skill trial.
A
I should
little
have
bit,
second
yeah.
age who dies because we passed the pass.
She sacrifices
okay.
herself.
She
Let's
died so
see,
that we
Bishop.
may live. I'm still here.
Well, let's try some fucking stealth bim. You fucking. Or do I still have blast? Do I still have blast?
Sure.
I'm sure. What? Sure. Son of a bitch.
How do you want this to go down, Sage? Is she attacked by some kind of creature, or what do you think would be the most poetic end to Sage Montanari?
Oh my god. God. I wasn't planning for this, sir. I'd say as the storm starts to pick up all of a sudden, and she's trying to shove everyone towards some shelter because there's lightning coming down. It's particularly bad. As she's shoving everyone away, there's a thunder that strikes the cliff above them, loosening some rocks. Though she manages to avoid the big ones, she does not avoid the smaller one that strikes her head and instantly ends her life.
In the midst of this storm, on the far side of the Kroon Pass, you can almost see during the day, though it is so dim and cloudy and wet, somewhere out there, the plains of Gavany. On the backside, this rock slide starts to come down. Sage starts directing everyone toward the most secure and safest place. Everyone's hiding behind the cart and getting out of the path of this. You see this old woman with her pack dodging and hobbling forward toward you with her cane. And she avoids most of the rubble, but just a single rock, maybe the size of your fist, bounces off one of the other boulders and then just hits her square in the head, and she falls forward, gravel covering part of her.
Immediately try and go get her.
Wait, no, grab Lorelei.
We have to save her!
She's already buried.
There is
There's
the
nothing we can
side of
do.
a mountain coming down, Lorelei.
On. Like that. Just over.
Lorelei looks at the remnants of the blessed spell that she had sort of drawn that connection between her and Sage with, just right at the end, and she just kind of looks at her hand as it flickers away.
The horses are all rearing back and pulling at their reins, and the tethers holding them together into this cart being held back by Acrio as well. As this spell is fading on them, they were saved from falling and being taken out with the rest of this rock slide, but Sage's body is swept away with the water and the rubble.
So someone ought to write a letter to her son.
You can see Val nodding as if he will take on the responsibility.
She'll also definitely have mentioned she has a daughter. Actually, she'll just have told them her entire fucking life story, so they know about all her children, all her 2 children, all her grandchildren.
Cousin Jemima.
Your path
Find
is now
shelter.
somewhat blocked by loose stone that has slid down the side of the mountain. You're probably not going to be able to make it past that. Yeah, unless Acrio can do something about it.
He's just really trying. Burst of blood vessel in his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, can I?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know. Did I get rock spells yet? I think we mentioned
Yes.
that, but...
Yeah.
Oh, Do I always have them prepared, or do I just add them to my spell book?
They are via the hammer.
Ah, okay.
So you have to use the hammer to do them. You don't cast them, but you do. It does require the spell slot channeled through the hammer to do it.
Okay.
It's him who created the cryptoliths.
Can I just start stomping the ground and make pillars in a line?
I mean, would that
Just get
your
more in the way?
cart across?
Huh?
I mean, what would that accomplish for your cart?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did I get the cantrip?
No, unfortunately, not the cantrips.
Yeah.
But I would allow like
I really thought
a generic spell to help move some of this. Like even if it's not a named actual spell, you could be like, I channel hammer magic to, clear this path.
I'll figure out rock spells later, because that's gonna take a lot of time to figure out. Yeah, I'll just channel a second level spell. Basically doing the same thing in the river, where all the rubble coagulates into a flat road-like surface.
It's still wet and muddy as well, but the boulders separate the pockets of rubble, fill in, packing themselves down, and making a rudimentary pass over the rest of this rock slide.
I want to see like a let it go sequence, but just with Acrio like stone shaping.
Let it go, let it go.
Oh my god.
Let it stone, let it stone.
Cillian thinks about doing some kind of funeral rite or letting the spirit pass on, but I think you need like candles for that.
There were different methods.
Yeah, sure, but in my mind, the circumstances aren't like it would be way too inconvenient to try to do that. And instead, I think he just tries to feel for a spirit, make sure it's sleeping. I think you can do like that.
For the moment, I don't think you're going to get anything potent enough to really detect, which is in some way a good thing, but it was so quick that it's hard to know how that's going to manifest over time.
Remember the location.
Yeah. If Acrio finally gets a path to where they continue traveling, I think Amrita's going to try to, I don't know where Lorelei's at, ride up to her to speak with her.
She's sticking with Heather.
Alright. I don't know which one of you to freaking ask. And while he's back there distracted with Valerie, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't want to talk about it, Amrita. I really don't. If you need to find out what happened, ask him. Just ask Cillian. He's the one that did it. I just stood there. I don't want to be spoken to like that again. Ever.
Well, I'm sorry if he was being an asshat, probably.
It's not going to interfere with anything. I'll still heal. I'll still protect. I'll still do everything exactly the same way. But he hurt me.
Guess now's a terrible time to say that he has more than one curse on him, then.
Go away, Amrita. I don't want to talk about this now.
Amrita's just gonna ride back, then. What did you do, Cillian?
In life?
No, not in life. And Valerie, can you just please go up there instead?
Like, look back and forth and be like, just shrug.
What? Oh, yeah. When I'm scared, I do anything to not. I didn't want to be the scared one.
Wow. You two are probably the worst to try to speak to about anything.
What do you want me to say? Exactly what I said to her?
No? I don't know.
I called her out for some things that were right and for some things that weren't. And since you need to be walking on the thinnest ice when you're around her, I guess that hurt her a little.
How audible is this conversation?
I mean, there's a storm going on, so you could make a perception check.
Because if I've noticed Amrita going back towards Cillian, I think Lorelei would be curious as to what's being said, assuming it's about
she
her.
literally just did what she told her, so.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I
See how well she perceives it.
it's not terrible.
Let me make a stealth check against that.
Sure.
Stealth is really good, don't do it! Nat 1, please.
So that's not extremely good.
No, Nat 1, please.
Yeah.
Cillian is trying to be quiet, but you do have to speak over the rain, so it's audible enough that, yeah, Lorelei, you can pick up most of what's being said.
Hearing how he's phrasing it, Lorelei will stop her mule and sort of turn around side saddle to look back at them, and she looks at Cillian with death in her eyes. Tell her what you really said. Tell her that you think all of this darkness is coming from me. Do you remember when you called me a proud bitch? When you told me to leave? And when you told me that there is a darkness behind my eyes? How am I supposed to just recover from that? How am I supposed to trust you again? When every time it is just us alone is when you decide to be the biggest asshole you could possibly imagine.
Just because I say the things you're scared of doesn't make me an asshole.
All right, that's enough.
You wanna fucking go, Cillian? She's getting off the mule. You wanna fucking go, Cillian? Come over here, immediately.
That's enough.
I do.
That's enough.
Amrita, this is between us, please.
We have to travel. Why don't you guys sort it out in the next town?
We can sort it out. We're sorting it out right here.
I walk up to her.
She grabs him by the collar of the shirt and moves him towards the crevice. Not over it, but with his back to it.
I mean, it's not exactly a crevice, it's a rock slide, so there's like an angle.
Yeah, but like, holding him towards, like, I will throw you down a descent, essentially.
Given
Why
the
is it
Sage
you went-
Montanari treatment.
Yeah, I'm gonna sage you the fuck up. Why is it, then? You came to me the other night and took it all back. But now you double down? I can't trust you. I thought I could. I thought I could trust you with so much. And you just throw it back in my face.
Yep.
That's it.
Anything I say, I think a part of you knows that that's a part of me I hate.
I have parts of me that I hate too. I don't let it hurt the people around me. And I especially don't pinpoint one person. If you were an asshole to everybody else equally, I would be fine with it. But it's me, specifically, Cillian. It's me. And I don't know whatever I've done to you. But it can't be worth this. If you want a reason to hate me, I'll give you one. I'll throw you off this rock slide right now.
Do
If
it.
you hate me that much.
Forget who you murdered. Do it.
All right, Amrita's gonna step in and grab like the two of them. That's enough.
As
It's a full moon,
As-
and we're almost to a damn town. And you need to fucking stop.
As Amrita intervenes, Lorelei grabs Cillian's shirt with her other hand. The anger disappears from her head for a minute. This isn't worth it, Cillian. I hate you, but I still love you. Not like that, don't get over your head. And I will cast... She's going to, like, move her hand and just, like, not particularly hard, but just to send a message, she will just slap him across the face. And in that moment of connection, she will cast Remove Curse. In that brief moment of contact, she will just try and take it.
During this, the rain had lightened, lessened, still drizzling above you, but the clouds are passing this close to Gavany and the other side of the Gaia Reach, where the power of the vampires doesn't hold near as much sway, and with the moving of the storm down the mountainside, as with this rock slide, there is a constant shifting in the wind until the edges of the clouds reveal the full moon shining down on you. And Lorelei, you can feel just a cluster of, not darkness, it's just corruption. It's just rot and life-stealing energy coming from Cillian. But with a simple action like that, you're not going to be able to remove any of it. It's going to take something much more potent for a generational curse to be expunged than just a single slap in the face.
But she still wants the magic to be palpable.
Oh yeah, like, you tried.
Yeah, like, she's still gonna...
Like, it was felt by both, but effectively no one.
Take me a little longer, okay? Don't put it aside.
She pulls him away from the edge and just pushes him towards Amrita.
In his face, there is a 90% certainty that he wouldn't be dropped, but definitely a 10% relief that he wasn't. And I think he's silent because he, in this journey here, has learned that most of the time silence is more truthful than his words. And he follows the cards.
But yeah, like the sky, is it fully, I guess it's clear now, so we're completely out of Stimsia. I can see the sky and the stars, right?
There's still some hazy clouds. There's still a mild drizzle on the edge of this storm, but there's enough of it has passed and parted that you can fairly clearly see the full moon. And Amrita, you have the hardest time being pulled between the both of them, keeping a lock on the draw of this moonlight, pulling the creature out of you.
You get back on Wingman. You go back to Heather now. No distractions.
She does as she's
What a
told.
journey.
And I think if they go back to their horses, like, yeah, you know what? I think Amrita would just put a hand on a shoulder. You know, it would be rather difficult to put X on all those images because there's more than 3.
I shouldn't be the
to me.
one. I need to feel good right now, Amrita. So I thank you for trying to keep me alive for a little longer.
I only hope that Sir Lane appears. I still... You know what? It's your decision, and if you really wanted to become a monster like them, and a monster like me, it's not easy. I don't want that for you, but you can talk to him about it if he appears, because he has a habit of knowing things. But I pray to the angels, maybe he finds us in time. I would rather not forget. Because for once in my life, I'm actually free because of you, in a sense. And I thought maybe forgetting about certain things that happened in Shadowgrange, I was upset. I was upset when I saw you in the city. You know, now's not a time to talk about it. I'm just gonna go on the horse, but I'm tired of hiding anymore. And you're the only other person that knows any of my shit. I don't want to forget any of it.
I like that I remember what it's like to love now. Twice now, fate has decided that I will not end by fangs and be reborn into something new. So that's just not in the cards for me. I know my role, and I'm glad she finally got it out. You almost stopped it. Wouldn't have been the good thing. That's why I said the things I said. Soft words didn't work, so I hope hard ones will. I'm so glad you stayed, Amrita.
As she turns to go back on Petunia, she hops on the horse and she sits and thinks for a moment. As I once remember, didn't a familiar family of the Vistani, maybe it was, I don't know, or maybe it was a forge master, said annoyment is a simple emotion. I could be wrong.
I think so. Hope to get back to it. Because these are a little more to deal with.
That's where we're going to drop the curtain on this week's session.
What a game! I love this game! I love D&D!
Yes.